Hello everyone and good morning. I hope everyone enjoying this morning and already have his coffee or her coffee. And our team is glad to present today and talk about an article about cybersecurity attacks. Before we start, I would like to introduce you our team who are Muhammad Ghanem, Naif Sufyani, Murtaba Al Khalifa, Saleh Al Mushajra, and Omar Al Ghazi. And of course, me, Saad Al Khatani, who is presenting right now. Today, we are going to talk about an article that we picked up from online sources that talking about the ransomware attacks against the OT increasing, and we're going to define the OT and the ransomware attacks, as well as we're gonna talk about the reasons behind these attacks increasing. And the first thing is the definition of the OT. The OT monitors and manages industrial process assets and manufacturing or industrial equipment. OT exists much longer than IT or information technology, more specifically since we started to use machinery and equipment powered by electricity in factories, building, transportation systems, and utility industries as well. The term, however, is more recent. Essentially, OT is the hardware and software that keeps things. For instance, factories, power plants, facility equipment, and keep it running.
So for the ransomware attack, the ransomware is a type of malicious software that threatens to publish or block access to data or computer system, usually by encrypting, until the victims pay a ransom fee to the attacker. In many cases, the ransom demands comes with a deadlines. If the victim doesn't pay in a time, the data is gone forever or the ransom increase. So, since we are explaining the two definitions of OT and ransomware attack, let's go to our objective question of this presentation, which is why are ransomware attack against OT increasing? So, in June of 2021, for instance, the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency noticed about ransomware attack on OT. The publication referenced a growing trend of ransomware targeting this system. Attack on OT, especially critical infrastructure, are certainly concerning, but it may not be immediately clear why they are growing. So we will list some of the reasons for this question below.
So one of the reasons why ransomware attacks against OT are increasing is raising payouts. Opportunity alone isn't the only driving factor behind the rise in OT ransomware attacks. As companies collect and process more data through their operational technology, they have more to lose from these incidents. Consequently, the criminals that initiate them have more to gain, emboldening them to demand higher payouts from their victims. Considering the severity of an OT attack, companies may be more willing to pay these ransoms than usual. If a malicious hacker uses ransomware to disable a critical piece of machinery, they could halt a facility's operations entirely. The company would lose a considerable amount of money every minute before regaining control, thus making the ransom seem like a less expensive option. In 2017, FedEx lost $300 million in a ransomware attack on its TNT Express division. Danish shipping company Maersk lost the same amount the same year from the NotPetya ransomware outbreak. Since IT-OT convergence has only grown since 2017, cybercriminals could stand to make even more now. Another reason is the high potential for destruction. Not all cybercriminals operate merely to make money, and operational technology ransomware attacks can serve these criminals too. One of the most concerning aspects of attacks against OT is their potential for destruction. As more critical infrastructure features Internet of Things connectivity, a malicious hacker could cripple crucial utility systems through ransomware, leaving governments and their citizens defenseless. The recent Colonial Pipeline hack highlights the potential these attacks have for widespread disruption. After cybercriminals locked Colonial's data for a $5 million ransom, the ensuing shutdown spurred a short-lived but troubling fuel crisis. Gas prices jumped, and some airlines had to make fuel stops during long-haul flights. Causing a similar level of damage through an IT attack would be far more challenging, likely requiring a larger, more sophisticated attack. This destructive potential makes OT ransomware attacks an enticing option for cyber terrorists or enemy state sponsored hackers. Consequently, these attacks have risen and might continue in the future.
So how to protect ourselves or our companies against this type of attack as an OT cybersecurity? So the ransomware attack against OT are already a prominent threats and they are likely continue to grow and increasing. Considering this trend, company across every industry should take steps to prevent it. So for the number two, organizations should ensure that all employees understand best practice like not clicking untrusting links and using strong password, which is the most important things. Similarly, requiring multi-factor authentication to access both IT and OT system will help to address vulnerability. Segmenting network to keep systems separated is another important step, as will minimize malicious hacker reach if they breach one part of the network. More sectors are developing industry-specific best practice and provide relevant cybersecurity resources and benchmark. As well, organizations should look to these to understand what they need to ensure their OT systems are secure as possible. Finally, before implementing any IoT devices, companies should evaluate their security, turning all built-in security features like data encryption and hosting them on a separated network will help minimize their vulnerabilities. To ensure they stay safe from evolving threats, business should run a regular third party. So this is our presentation about ransomware attack. I hope it's give you new information and thank you for watching.